have them done before the preseason is over. So we're going to start out west in the AFC. And the 4 teams there are your Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, the new LA Chargers, and I got to get used to that because I'm still San Diego, and the Oakland Raiders. So that is your AFC West. Now, here's how they finished last year. Chargers finished at the bottom at 5-11. Broncos finished 9-7 in third place, and then you had basically a tie, but the Raiders had the tiebreaker, so they both were, the Chiefs and the Raiders were 12-4. So the Raiders were number 1, and the Chiefs were number 2 in that division. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe shock some folks here with my 4th place finisher. It's going to be the Denver Broncos. I got them in 4th place, and I know people are like, Jelani, how could you have them they're 9-7 in that defense finishing last in the division? Well, here's the thing. They got the same issue they had last year. They got a quarterback controversy. And the one thing you cannot have is a quarterback controversy, especially with a defense like they have. Their D will help them. Their D will cover up for some of the stuff that the offense can't. We're talking about Paxton Lynch, and now with Trevor Siemian. Now they're saying Paxton Lynch is beyond what he was last year, and that's expected. He was a rookie. He played a little bit because Trevor Siemian got hurt. But when you actually put him into the game, he's still, to me, I'm looking at he's still completing his rookie season. He didn't play double-digit games last year. So you're starting over, and you're pretty much in the same spot that you were before last year. You got this awesome D with guys like Talib and Von Miller and Chris Harris, Shane Ray and all that stuff. And that will help out. That will help out a lot. That will mask a lot of the problems they may have on offense. But eventually you're going to need that offense to move. You did pick up Jamal Charles. I don't know how that's going to work. You still got C.J. Anderson and Devin Booker. So you got a nice stable of running backs, but you also got a new rookie coach. What happens with the rookie coach? You don't have that veteran coach. May not need it. We've seen rookie coach have success before, but these are what's in my mind saying you have to think about this. You have to, and next year, we're going to be better. But I just think with the quarterback, the new coach, and the running back situation to a certain degree, not as much as the quarterback, because the quarterback is the most important. I say the Broncos are going to finish 4th in the AFC West. Folks probably think I'm crazy. Now, who I got finishing 3rd? I got the LA Chargers. And I know, yes, they are overtaking the Broncos. And here's why. And they have a rookie coach as well, Anthony Lynn. So that's not, he's in the same boat as Vance Joseph that's at Denver. But the Chargers last year, they lost 7 games. They finished 5-11, but they lost 7 games by 7 points or less in the season. And they lost one game by 8. So if they lost 8 games by 8 points or less, but 7 games by 7 points or less with the injuries that they had to their offensive line. Also, they got Keenan Allen got injured. He was pretty much headed probably for a Pro Bowl performance last year. So they lost him, and then they had the whole deal situation with Joey Bosa. All that is gone now. Now, they do have to deal with this whole relocation, part. That's difficult, but Joey Bosa is in camp. You don't have to worry about him, contract dispute, rookie deal, or whatever. Injuries, they're a part of the game, so you don't know how that's going to play, but you got a new line. You drafted Mike Williams. You have Keenan Allen coming back. You got people like Dontrell Inman and Tyler Williams. And Travis Benjamin. So you got a stable running wide receivers. You got Melvin Gordon, who had a a lot better year than he had his rookie year. He did get injured, but now Anthony Lynn is saying he can take him to the next level. And Anthony Lynn, we saw what he did in Buffalo with the running back situation there. So I think with Phillip Rivers, this may be and Hunter Henry. I didn't even mention Hunter Henry and Antonio Gates at tight end. This may be, that opportunity that Phillip has one more time to get where he needs to be and make one more run, and try and get to the Super Bowl. So I got them in third place. 7 games, 7 points or less. That you were in every game. Even if you take half of that, that's 9-7. If you take the 8 games, that's 9-7. They could have easily been a 10, 12 win team. It could have easily been that way, and then maybe the Chiefs or the Raiders not make it. So I got them third. But having said that, second, I got the Chiefs. I'm going to put the Chiefs in there at second place. Andy Reid always is in the mix during the regular season. He does real well with running backs. He's never had a running back other than LaShawn McCoy. He's never really had a running back. To me, y'all tell me if y'all feel something different, but he's never had a running back to the capability of like a Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell or anything like that. He's always taken what he had guys like Deuce Staley, that did well for him. I'm trying to think who else did he have in Philadelphia, but I'm drawing a blank right now. But LaShawn McCoy was the best running back he had, and he always, to me, did more with what he had. Alex Smith, he's safe for a year. He's not looking over his shoulder. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be taking his job or anything like that. But where they may take a step back is on their defense. Their defense took a little bit of a hit. Dontari Poe is no longer there. He went to Atlanta. And Derek Johnson, he's a year older, but also coming off an injury, which was an Achilles injury. And the older you are, the harder it is to come back from those things. So we don't know how he's going to, be for their defense. I mean, he was a staple in the middle. Tamba Ali is a little bit older as well. So you got to think, are they going to be long in the tooth? And we haven't even mentioned this. Who is going to be their go-to receiver? Is Tyreek Hill going to be their go-to receiver because you cut Jeremy Maclin? What is going to happen on that end, on the offensive end? Travis Kelce is still there, so that's always, a good look. He may be their Gronk and be their leading receiver. And to me, that's how I see it happening. And then it's just him and Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek Hill, that's a lot to be putting on a guy in his second year. So we don't know what, he may be or not be, until the season start. But second place, I got the Chiefs, and finishing in first, Seth Galloway, I wish he was here. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear about this. It's the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders. They will continue their success, I think, with Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr gets it. He understands. He's a guy who's not about me. He's a guy that understands the team concept, and he's a guy that entire team will follow him wherever it is that he go. That doesn't happen always on a team, and you need that. He is the guy, and they will follow wherever he takes them. And we saw how valuable he was when the playoffs happened and they had to play against Houston. They couldn't move the ball at all. So guys like Marshawn Lynch will help. I'm not saying Marshawn is going to be the beast mode that we've seen before, but he is an added addition that is welcome. Amari Cooper, this guy gotten better from year 1 to year 2. Last year, he had 1,153 yards and 5 TDs. You got to expect he's going to do, probably take off with that double-digit touchdown this year. Where they are in big trouble that they need to fix, which has always been, right at this point, their Achilles, is their defense. You got guys like Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin, they had Reggie Nelson, and other boys on defense, but they were not stopping anyone. And that's why they got to keep up with the offense, because the offense was ranked 6th, probably the highest rank they've been in a long time, probably since Rich Gannon, was there. They were 6th in the league in offense. So, but their defense was 26. So that means your offense was basically trying to keep up with all the scoring that the other teams were doing. So if they can shore up their defense, and I said this for the Falcons, if they can start out middle of the pack, just to start out the season, and get close to a top 10 defense, which I don't think that's a lot, to ask for, they could cause some serious damage. They could be 13-3, maybe 14-2, because you're slowing teams down and your offense isn't out there all the time trying to play catch up or play keep up more than anything. So those are my, rankings there. I got the Raiders going first, Chiefs second, Chargers third, and the Broncos bringing up the rear, on it. So we're almost out of here. Last thing I want to talk about, and you're listening to the Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jelani JB Bodie, on the WSME Network. We're talking about football. So what does that mean, for the season? That means fantasy football is also on its way. Mock drafts are starting to come out. The radio stations or the satellite radio stations, they are starting to do their football coverage. So for those people that's out there in the fantasy football world, I can tell you, I play fantasy football, and the first year I played, I can't even remember the year. It was probably 8-9 years ago at this point, but I got hooked. And I mean, just hooked to where I'm locked in. And just like people are smelling, the football and everything, the same thing is going on with fantasy football. Everyone is starting to smell it. You're getting that feeling. People are hitting me up because I'm actually a commissioner for a league. Yo, we doing the league. Yeah, we're doing the league, man. So we all are getting excited. So we're going to have a fantasy football probably. I may do one each week during the season for my, pick'ems or drop'ems or diamonds in the rough or anything like that. I'm still, me and Lopan talked about this, because Lopan was like, yo, why are you giving out that information? But, as long as I'm not playing anybody that's in the chat room, I probably will give out that information, because I ain't trying to help nobody out. I'm trying to win, man. And I'm trying to win this money. Yeah, I'm trying to win. So Rough Buff just said he in the fantasy football. So again, fantasy football, and even daily fantasy. I got into that probably last year. Daily fantasy football as well. That is amazing. I mean, if you are a person who just don't want to play a whole season, and I know people that's like that, they're like, man, I don't want to have to, monitor, my account, or my team, and see who got hurt or see who playing who, and then make sure my lineup is all and all that stuff. They just want to play every week, but just always, that one time. Daily fantasy football has changed the format. I mean, people are getting paid off of this. Just all they do is fantasy football. That's all they do. And they get paid off of it. So it is a cash cow. And it is so much money to be made, and that is being made on it. But it is so much fun. You can play with your coworkers or your friends or your family members and all that stuff. So we will be talking about fantasy football more as we get close. And then maybe I may put one together for the Wait a Minute show, and then throw some people in there and take y'all money. If y'all want to, lose or anything like that, because I'm taking money. I'm not losing. So somebody may take it as disrespect in here, but take it as disrespect, but it is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight's show. I thank you for spending the time tonight with your boy. And I want to send some love again to some folks that was in here. I won't get everybody, so please don't get mad at me. But Rough Buff, Sluggo, Clay Davis, Miss Mocha Bella, Chief Rocker Jersey Vern, Melvin, excuse me.